Alright, let's see if this thing still starts. Oh yeah, this thing starts great. Find me in the background, always on the outside. Find me in the... What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and I don't have a fix today, but we are going to talk about the fix I had the day before, which was on my old starter. So I felt like I didn't explain it too much, and I felt like I didn't want to cheat anybody. Not really cheat, but just I wanted to explain more, and I couldn't because of the video content of showing it was really hard. So we're going to talk about it real quick, and then I'm going to explain what I had to do, so that way maybe some people who need more information will get that information. So let's get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. If you have not seen any of my fixes, please go down, check them out. Give me likes and comments. Let me know, guys, what you think. So today we are going, sorry it's hot. Today we are going to talk about the starter that I did yesterday, which was the video I posted last night, which I had been sent yesterday. So I felt like I didn't get a chance to show you guys what I wanted to show you. I felt like I could give you a little bit more information. Then I realized when I uploaded the video was only like 6 minutes long. So it was because I couldn't show you that much. So I thought I'd maybe describe what I did. So naturally you saw the video where I had put it on the jack stands. I took the battery off and everything like that. And that was all good and great. But then when I got up under the car, I could really not show you guys what I had to go through. So we're going to do a little talk about this one. This is my old starter out of my 05 Cadillac Sts. It was quite difficult to get off, but I did get it out. I wanted to explain how I did so. So we'll just get right into it. So really starting off, after you get the battery taken off, all the cables, and make sure there's no power on it, because you don't want to shock yourself, because you're taking off the positive cable off this thing, and if it touches something metal, you're going to be in more trouble than you were replacing this. So with my situation, I have a V6. I don't have a V8. I don't have the CTS. I have the STS, the one that no one really much talks about anymore. So my issue was getting it out, and the only way to get this starter out was taking off the catalytic converter. So it was kind of a pain to get it out, because I have bolts on top and then the nut on the bottom, and sometimes I can't get it to hold in place to get it off. So I thought it was going to be really difficult, but it ended up not being. So I'm going to start off with what I did to get it, and it maybe might help you out. So on the V6, there's only one way to get it out on mine. Now, someone else may have a better opening if you have a V8 or you have a CTS V6. Even though they do have the same kind of motor and components and stuff, the getting stuff out is what makes it so different. So on the starter part, the only way for me to get it out was to remove the catalytic converter. That would give me more space, and I could unbolt it and get to what I need to get to, and then I could just pull it right out. So first, I needed to undo the exhaust, which I did. I loosened it up so it could get out of the way. Then I had to get to the top part of the two bolt and nut for the Cadillac converter. So instead of me just taking it completely off and then fighting with it later, which I still did have to fight with it even when I didn't take it completely off, I took one nut off. So my Cadillac converter on the driver's side, just to be more clarifying on which side. So the starter is on the driver's side of the transmission, and the Cadillac converter is in the way of getting it out. So I took one bolt on one side of the Cadillac converter and took that completely off, left the bolt on top and took the nut off. And then I loosened the other one, but left it still attached and hanging. Then I had enough room to where I could finagle it under the exhaust. So I kind of had it wedged under the exhaust pipe that's going out the back. So I wedged that under just to get it out the way, and that gave me enough room to get it in and out. I even tested to fit the new one to see if it'd get in and out doing it that way, and it actually did work. So that saved me from having to take the whole entire pipe down and undoing the CO2, oxygen sensor and everything. So I didn't have to do nothing like that. Just take the 2 bolts off, take 1 bolt off, loosen the other one, and then kind of move it to the side. So so continue on through that. Then it's just a matter of getting to the bolts. So I know this is probably not a good illustration, but the way that the this one was in was kind of like this, probably a lot more like this way. So I got a bolt here and a bolt here, which is really easy to get to. I think it was like 2 15-millimeter bolts. So really, honestly, it's kind of more like me just getting it to it from the side and then with the open end wrench, and that worked out fine. It took a little while because you're not enough room, but you slowly get it out and then it'll come off. So that wasn't the hardest part, getting this out though. The more difficult part was getting to these terminals. So the way it was hanging was exactly like this. This was on the bottom. Actually, it was actually on the top, kind of like a sideways, but nevertheless. So this is where the power cable goes. So you unscrew it and it comes off, no problem. There's electrical. There's like a harness cable that goes into here that helps power this, switches on, whatever it does. So so this is the part that went bad on my starter. It kept clicking, making the clicking noises and all that stuff like that. So I just replaced the whole thing instead of just replacing the solenoid. That way it's a new, fresh starter, and I knew that everything works. So taking this off was kind of a difficult, because I could not show you in the video. I actually couldn't even see it myself. I had to do it blind. So I'm literally just filling my hand up there trying to get to it. And then I eventually got an open end wrench on this one. I think it was like a 9/16 or something like that. And then it came off. And then this part was really difficult because this is different from the new one, and it was really hard to get under there and get to it. I mean, literally had no room to even hit the it's like a press and then pull cable. It was really hard to get to. So I eventually just got a long enough flathead to get in there and wedge in between this, and then it just lifted right out. I didn't break it. I didn't do nothing. I did it ever so gently, just kind of getting it in there to wiggle it, and then eventually it started coming to a point where I could just pull it right off. So that was good. So when I got that all taken off and got these off, just threw them to the side, no big deal. So then I did see some videos where someone said that you have to take the knock sensor off to get this out. And I didn't think I first didn't think I didn't need to, but then when I finally got the 2 main bolts holding this together, I literally realized that yes, you gotta take the knock sensor off. So no big deal. I'm not for sure what nut, what socket I used for that. I think it was a 15, I believe. So with that one was a little trickier because, the way it is the knock sensor is maybe about this far away. So when you unbolt the starter, you hit the nut on the knock sensor that won't let this come out. So so people who are trying to figure out getting away around about taking the nut off, there's no way on the V6 to get this off without taking the knock sensor off. You can't unplug it, nothing. That nut is what's in the way. And it's a long nut. It's a really long nut that goes in the side of the motor that you have to take off in order to get this out. So I had to use a long extension rod socket and a swivel head to get it on there, and I had a really short wrench, and then that worked out fine. Just had to give it a good twist to break it loose. It came right out. So holding that off, and then I was able to get this off. So so after that, everything was good to go. So so yeah, that was pretty much it. So so that was pretty much the easy part. Then I could get this out, finagle it, do whatever I needed to do. Then I got the new one, showed you guys on the video, and then I put it back in. Now the newer one is a lot fatter and maybe about this much longer in the motor, and I got that because I wanted to have a better quality starter, and I got it from a different site, and I wanted it because it had I was looking for a performance one, because if you know me, I was like looking for something performance to last longer, to work a lot longer and harder. I wanted something that would be able to handle a lot more cranking or turning of the starter. So I looked online and I found a site that actually had it, and it worked out great. The components were great. They were strong. They were durable. They were heavy duty. They could handle a lot of cranking up. So I did that, and that worked out great. And then it was just a great starter. So it had all the good reviews and everything. So I went ahead and put it in. Just put it in backwards. Put it in. Use the 2 bolts. Put the 2 bolts in. Got it all nice and lined up. Then when I got that lined up, I put the knock sensor back in. Got that nice and tightened up. And then the difference between this one and the new one I just put in was these connectors. So these connectors were a little different design. Still work the same way, no problem. But the configuration was a little different. So what really happened was when I put this on for the positive cable, that was fine. But then I had a real difficult time putting this on. One, because the cable for this was kind of hard to bend. It wasn't kind of loose, like a normal cable would be. It was kind of hard, so I had to get it in, and then I had to turn it at about I guess it's about 6 o'clock. So so I had a little tough time getting in there because it was kind of fighting me a little bit because it was too strong of a cable, and I could understand why. But once I did that and got it in there, everything clicked in. So then I got this tightened down. Then I had to tighten these down. I had to do it ever so gently, little by little, just to get it tightened. But then I eventually got it. And then I had a little more issue getting back the catalytic converter back in, but that's just the way that is. And then I got it all back together. So and that was pretty much it. After that, everything, hooked the battery back up. I got everything nice and started back, and everything worked great. So this was the culprit. I wouldn't say this was the reason why I had a problem, because it was more than just this. It was actually my alternator and this. My battery was good, and I replaced my serpentine belt and pulley because it needed to be done, trying to figure out the power issue. But I say more than anything, this was probably about 90%. 95% the reason why I was having the issue. The alternator was giving issues too because it wasn't giving a charge. So the alternator was going bad, and then this was going bad at the same time. So that was why I had to do so many times to figure out the power issue. But I started with the easiest first, which was replacing the serpentine pulley in the belt, thinking that could charge the alternator. Ended up not really. The alternator just was not giving me the charge, and then this was acting up as well. So the whole entire system was. But now the car starts beautifully. It starts every time. I can turn back all my electrics back on. My stereo works. My AC. I can leave my AC on. I can leave my stereo on, and I don't have to worry about it. Is it going to start? Because it actually will. I even turn on back on my remote start. I can actually remote start from inside the house like I used to. Works great. So that was pretty much the culprit, was this and my alternator. But I was really hoping to get a better picture in detail for you guys, and I apologize that I couldn't do it. It was just really tight, but I do have an idea of taking care of that with maybe a little smaller camera. I have some ideas that I might use. But that's it, guys. I just really wanted to go into details about what I had ran into and wanted to share it with you guys. So hopefully this helped out a lot more better if you guys needed more information. If not, then if my first video was perfectly clear on how to do it, then great. But I just felt like I needed to explain it a little bit more. So that's it, guys. I thank you very much. I thank you for all the likes. Please, if you not have follow me on Instagram and follow me on YouTube, guys. Please like and subscribe. I do appreciate this. I'm doing this all on my own. No one's paying me. No one's endorsing me. I'm just doing this all on my own and loving to share the information that I run into every time I get it. So that's it. There's more stuff to come on that car. I have a lot more things I want to do, maintenance morally, but eventually I will get to the parts where I want to upgrade some things. So until then, thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe, and you guys have a good and blessed day.